Okay, so this is where the story begins. As you can see behind me here, we have a pile of logs. These get delivered by the local estate. Well, I pay for them. And I cut them up, split them, and stack them, and that heats our home. So I get about 8 tons a year. The best logs I sort out. There's one here waiting to be slabbed up. And then I slab these and season them in a polytunnel. So I constructed this polytunnel here to store my wood. So let's have a look inside there. So as you can see, I've got logs stacked up in here. Typically I'll cut the logs into 1 inch, 2 inch or maybe 3 inch slabs and then use whatever's appropriate. Most of this is ash. I've had some oak before. I prefer working in oak, but tend to get the majority of the wood as ash. Anyway, so that's where the journey begins. Firewood into slabs. The slabs then get processed in my workshop. And let's have a look at the workshop. So these are the tools I've got. I've got a planer here, Multico. This was second hand. It's a very old planer. It's actually got a tenon attachment on the side. I've got thicknesser, table saw here currently being used as a glue up table. And then I've got miter saw, drill press and various hand tools. The slabs I'm using for the tabletop were 2 inches thick. Because the slabs were quite bowed across the grain, I ripped them down the middle using a track saw and then got them roughly even using the table saw. Another reason is that I can't accommodate more than 9 inches on my planers, so I have to reduce them anyway. As you can see, I had to take quite a bit off to get that surface across the whole of the slab. So here I'm just checking to see which of the edges I want to square off on the planer. So the next stage is to make it parallel on both faces. On the flat face I'm using the thicknesser and I'll run it through there until I've got the second face completely flat. Following that I just run it through the table saw to get a second edge parallel with the edge that I squared off on the planer. Because of different amounts of twist in the wood, I had to thickness them all to the smallest thickness. Here you can see the difference between the slabs I started with and the slabs that I got down to a reasonable thickness. As the slabs were longer than the final table side, I decided to match up the grain as best as I could. The slabs were glued up 3 at a time using a biscuit jointer. Here you can see the first 3. The final stage was to glue the 2 half sides together, again using biscuit jointer. So once the top was dried and cured, I trimmed it off to size using a track saw.